I loved Emma Stone. She is gorgeous and beautiful, but unfortunately, besides her amazingly wonderful eyes and beautiful hair that she recently chopped off, she's not got brain cells in her head. And she's part of the 4,000 artists, including many other very talented artists like Joaquin Phoenix, but we know he's already total anti-Semite. This microphone is annoying me. She has been part of this boycott against Israel from the artist things. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's pull it up for a sec. This story. Now, besides the fact that there's that man-woman thing, Elliot Page, whatever, on the cover, which always makes me upset. Over 4,000 actors, filmmakers sign pledge to boycott Israel, film industry over Gaza. Okay, let's read the article from Times of Israel, which is also a left-wing organization. If you guys are not familiar, important to know. More than 4,000 film industry figures, including some major Hollywood actors, have now signed an open letter calling for a boycott of the Israeli film industry, as support for the pledge has nearly tripled since it was first published Monday. We pledge not to screen films, appear at, or otherwise work with Israeli film industries, including festivals, cinemas, broadcasters, and production companies that are implicated in genocide and apartheid against the Palestinian people, read the letter. Joining the signatories who joined the boycott pledge earlier this week are several additional high-profile actors and filmmakers, including Joaquin Phoenix, we mentioned him already, Emma Darcy, Rooney Mara, Eric Andre, Elliot Page, and Guy Pearce. The letters, 1,300 original backers, includes movies and TV stars Josh O'Connor, Lena Headey, Tilda Swinton, Javier Bardem, Tobias Menzies, Brian Cox, Olivia Colman, she's a wonderful actress. I've been told that I'll look like her when I'm older, which is unfortunate for me. Ilana Glazer, Ayo Adeb, and Mark Ruffalo. We know him. He's the worst. Hundreds more quickly joined, including Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. But I love them. And Jonathan Glazer, who I do not love. He's that idiot, who won that prize at the Oscars and was like, Israel is the worst, whatever. This pledge is distinct from other previous arts and culture Israel boycotts and naming specific Israeli cultural institutions that the letter's signatories are boycotting. These include major Israeli film festivals like the Jerusalem Film Festival, Haifa International Film Festival, Doc Aviv, and Tel Aviv Festival. I've never heard of these things because I have better things to do with my time than waste on these movie stuff, which we just don't really watch anymore. But let's keep going. In this urgent moment of crisis, where many of our governments are enabling the carnage in Gaza, we must do everything we can to address complicity in the unrelenting horror, the letter said. We answer the call of Palestinian filmmakers who have urged, these filmmakers are not dead yet, just FYI, who have urged the international film industry to refuse silence, racism, and dehumanization, as well as do everything humanly possible. At the time, actually, I'm writing it. To end complicity in their oppression, the film workers said in their petition. The vast majority of Israeli film production and distribution companies, sales agents, cinemas, and other film institutions have never endorsed the full internationally recognized rights of the Palestinian people. According to an FAQ document accompanying the letter, the pledge does not specifically target Israeli individuals. Instead, the document says the refusal to take aim at institutional complicity, not identity, and that few Israeli film entities are not complicit. Interesting. They seem to know everything in this letter. Several open letters signed by prominent figures from around the world of cinema, music, and literature have been published as pressure mounts on the Israeli government to end the nearly 2-year war against Hamas in Gaza, sparked by the terror group's invasion and massacre in Israel on October 7, 2023, and urgently address the humanitarian crisis. Interesting. Where is the pressure on Hamas? I would prefer the pressure on Hamas than on Israel, but whatever. And in Tanya, you know what? I can't be bothered to read any more of this. Israel denies carrying out genocide in the Strip, saying it seeks to minimize civilian casualties during the war, and stresses that Hamas uses Gaza's civilians as human shields. Fighting from civilian areas includes homes, hospitals, schools, and mosques. Okay, that article just made me exhausted. Are you exhausted? Let's be exhausted together. So, surprise, surprise, as we've said on here a few times, people who spend their life pretending to be other people are not the type of people that you actually want to listen to and recognize as like intellectual thought leaders, because they hate themselves enough to want to hide themselves. I always say, I would never be an actress. Yes, I know I have marvelous acting skills, but actually I am just 100% authentically myself. I am so happy in who I am and in how my brain works that I do not need to pretend to be something else, which is what these people do for a living. And they are loved and adored by everybody for not being themselves. And yet we decide to listen to their opinions on things. But besides the fact, these boycotts are starting to get a little problematic. Look, the Israel movie scene actually happens to be one of the best scenes in the world. And maybe we'll do like a TV series reviews. Would you guys like that? Comment if you would. We can do a series in which we like review different shows, because Israel makes unbelievable cinema. Unbelievable cinema. And honestly, it's these people's losses. But here's what it's an indicator. It's an indicator, number one, of the public pressure, just the enormous public pressure, and the fact that we are failing so badly at being able to share our narrative and the truth of the story. Because I know for a fact that if you put me in a room with Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield, they would leave being pro-Israel. I know that, but they're not being exposed to me. They're being exposed to these crazies who are manipulating them and convincing that we're genocidal and we're terrible, so much so that they're willing to lose potential business and not work with Israeli filmmakers. And obviously the financial ramifications of this can be enormous, but more, besides the fact that it's a PR stunt, it's just an indicator of how far we have to go. Look, do I think that celebrities nowadays are the best example for role models and we need to look at it? No. I think this is just an indicator of a bigger problem, and it's unfortunate and it's sad. It's sad that this is where we've gotten to. It's sad that these people who are trusted as opinions, so many of them have fallen for the absolute and total lies. And this is what it really tells us. It tells us how intelligently and sophisticatedly they've come after our role models. Our role models are falling this. They're either being pushed into it or brainwashed into it. I like to give some of them, not all of them, some of them the benefit of the doubt that they don't actually understand what they're up against and they're just trying to do the right thing, and somebody's pushed them or told them that this is the right thing to do and they don't really understand. But it's shameful and it's sad, because at the end of the day, these people, through boycotting Israeli, are really boycotting the people standing up against terror. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stand against terror. And the whole thing is so warped and so miserable and so unfortunate. And I feel sad for them. And I also feel sad for me because I really love Andrew Garfield. It's very attractive, don't you think? Anyways, thank you for your attention to this matter.